And it is Wednesday. It is 8 o'clock, 32 degrees, a little chilly here today. It's going to clear up. It's a little cloudy. No weather in the forecast, which is nice, nice clear day, sunny. Driving into work today. I live in a pretty unique region. I live in Berkshire County, Massachusetts, and we have the Berkshire Hills here and the Taconics nearby and all that jazz. And it was cold enough last night when we were getting some precipitation that some areas got their first snow. I live in Richmond. We didn't get any snow. We didn't even get any precipitation. But driving into work today, I'm passing through Great Barrington, coming through Sheffield, and I look off to my left, and all the mountains and all the hills about, starting at like 400 feet up, are all frosted. It looked like a giant took a big powdered sugar shaker and just, sprinkled the mountaintops. Just super cool. You don't always get to appreciate that. And just the things you see every day. I'm not a you have a YouTube website and you seem like you're social, but I'm really not a social person. I like to I go to work and I go home. And I don't like to go into stores. I don't like any of that. It's not that I don't like people. It's that just socially awkward. I don't like a lot of interaction, especially in the morning when I might have been awake for 2 hours, but I've only really been alive for about a half hour. I stroll into McDonald's this morning, and definitely not a regular thing. I don't like the fast food. But I had to have an Egg McMuffin and a coffee. And the drive-through line's a mile long. And the place is frickin' packed. And they have these kiosks now where you can order all on your own. You don't have to interact with people. So I am stoked. And I'm ordering my meal. Ordering my Egg McMuffin sandwich and my hot coffee for the morning. And a young lady walks up. She was probably a couple years younger than me. And she couldn't figure out the kiosk. And I looked at her and I said, "Ain't you part of the technology generation?" She laughed and she said, "Yeah, but not like that. I don't like these things." She said, "I don't even like my smartphone." It's not even really a smartphone. It's a stupid phone. But enough ramblings about my morning adventures on my way in. I promised I was going to get video of the saws yesterday. It didn't happen. I thought we were done with the feller buncher, and I ended up operating that bad boy for another few hours and bucked some logs, and just didn't have the time to go grab the phone. I mean, I don't have a GoPro yet. I've been hemming and hawing about buying one, but at this point, I think I'm just going to go bite the bullet when I get this next paycheck. I'm gonna make sure all the bills are all set, make sure the baby doesn't need anything, make sure my wife is happy, and then I'm gonna go try to get me a GoPro so I can put it on my helmet and try to do more and better videos, because the resolution on this phone is not awesome, and it does not like a lot of motion, because at this point this phone is 3 years old. It's usually never lasts that long, but this sucker is just holding on for dear life. It's the Note. It's an original Note 3. It's got the little stylus in the bottom of it, and it's still working all right. But for pure video purposes, I think it's about time for a GoPro. And gonna try to drum up some funds for that. Of course, I have issues with my CAD, my chainsaw addiction. I've been pining for a brand new 661, to buy a ported 661, and that's tough. Maybe next year. Of course, I say next year, but that's only a month and a half away next year. Got the 660, works great. It's a great saw. It's got torque like a tugboat. I mean, sometimes it even sounds like a tugboat. But gonna try to buy one of those 661s. I ran one once at a get together in New York State with a bunch of other chainsaw guys, and I was just flabbergasted at how much smoother it was. It was much more user friendly, and I really like the idea of not having to fiddle with a screwdriver all the time. Now, I don't mind running a screwdriver to tune a saw, and using a tack. I can do that. I can tune by ear, and that's all fine and ducky. But it's great to blow the air filter out, fill the saw full of fuel, oil, go to any elevation in my area, which varies pretty well. I mean, the average elevation in Berkshire County is like 1,200 feet above sea level, but it can go higher than that, and all the varying temperatures. I mean, if you run saws for a living, you know that they can be sensitive. Certain temperatures, weather, elevation. You've got to check your tune, to make sure that you keep your equipment safe. You've got to maintain your investment, use good oil, blow your saws out so they don't get overheated, so they don't get fines down the carburetor throat, and those fines get into your engine and wreak havoc. You don't want that. But the auto tuning saws, like the Husqvarna Auto Tunes, my CS 2260 is auto tune. I love that. I mean, you just put fuel in it and you just go run the damn thing. I mean, it doesn't care about anything. It is always tip top. You put a different bar on it, you don't have to retune for it. The saw will tune itself. It will tune itself to 100 degrees. It'll tune itself to freezing. There's just something great about that ease of, that peace of mind. And some people are really against them, which I think is interesting. I think the manufacturers of the chainsaws are not only producing more of them because they are more user-friendly, but because they're going to have less warranty claims. People leaning their saws out real far and, making them scream and frying top ends and, not maintaining the saws, because the auto-tune and the M-Tronic on the steel units will retune for, plugged air filters and whatnot, and they will adjust, and you can get more runtime out of that saw before it gets upset, and you have to make some changes. I think it's great for everybody. Couple of my friends I talked to on the forums, I had to give them my perspective and my thought process as a professional that uses them every day before they understood where I was coming from, and maybe give them a new point of view. Mustang Mike had I believe he had a 261 steel M-Tronic ported. He loves that saw. Rhode Island Chevy Jeff, he had a few done, or he had a saw done, or he was going to get one done after he spoke to me, and he ran a few saws of varying colors at a get-together. Jeff is a real steel nut, and that's fine. People love their brands, and I love my Chevy trucks, or I love my Husqvarna saws only, or that's fine. But you got to zoom out sometimes too, and appreciate what else is out there. My business partner was an adamant General Motors guy, and a couple of years back I said to him, these trucks ride great, but they turn awful, and they don't quite handle a load like I would like them to. And I convinced him to purchase a Ford F550. I'm not a Ford man. I've driven Dodges all my life. I've had only Dodges except for one car. So I'm a Dodge guy. But there's the Ford F550 is just the hardest working truck a working man can buy, own, and use. You know, you can put an idiot in it and overload it, and the damn thing will stop, and it'll turn, and it'll accelerate, and it'll do all the things that a heavy-duty work truck should do without any issues. Appreciating other things. Kind of wish General Motors would hop on the bandwagon and make a 5 Series truck that was competitive with the F550 and with the 5500 Ram, because the 5 Series truck, the Class 5 truck, is the heaviest duty truck someone with a regular license can really drive. I know that some of the new 1-tons are rated to pull something like 30,000 pounds. I mean, that's a small bulldozer. That's a lot. But yeah, Ford F550s. Far as saws go, going to try to run a little bit of each of them today. The chain's running pretty good on that 660. I did not have a clutch spring, a spare clutch spring. I thought I did, but I didn't. So I'll have to snag one at some point. Maybe I'll head out to Meadow Farm and get one, or I have a spare clutch I can just spin on it. But I like to keep whole parts whole until I need them, you know. The rest of the clutch on that saw is mint. It just needs a spring. But like I said, hopefully we wrap up early here and get done what we need to get done, so I can make some videos of the saws running. They'll be not, like I said, not super videos. I don't have a GoPro yet. I'm working on the GoPro. Nonetheless, learned from a friend to take the saw and put a little slash in the log you're going to be cutting, or use a piece of firewood and put a slash in it to set the phone into to take a video. And I'll try to do that today. And if I can't get one today, then I'll try to make some more at home. I have a couple pieces of firewood that got cut up, moons ago. It's dead cherry. It's pretty hard. I'll try to get some there if I can't get any here today. The one of the hardest parts about trying to get saw videos for me is that I am working. I work all day, and I don't usually have time to go run and get the phone and take a video of what's going on, what's running, how it's running, pictures of my chains and whatnot. They're usually just they're buried in the wood, and I'm trying to make me some money. But gonna try to do more saws. Gonna try to get some videos of repairing and restoring a couple older saws I have. I was gifted 2 non-running saws by my cousin. I have an 034 AV steel that's in pretty damn good shape. I got to put a recoil in it, clean it up, probably have the carburetor cleaned, or disassemble it and clean it myself. I have sausage fingers, so it's not always awesome for me when I have to fiddle with carburetors and small parts. Might have somebody else do that. And I also have I have 2 McCullochs. One I bought from a local man who sources them. He picks them up here and there, finds them at a tag sale, yada yada yada. And I have a Promax 700, and that saw actually starts and runs, but it dies out. It needs some carburetor help. I'm gonna send that sucker to Chainsaw Jim on OPEforums.com, and I'm going to have him go through it, repair it, complete it. I guess he says it's common for them to need oil tank gaskets and things like that. So I'm going to have him go through it and port it and make it a real runner, because I'm such a big fan of fucking Billy Ray's videos. I love watching that guy. I love seeing him use the old saws. The McCullochs have such a cool sound. They just sound grizzly. They sound, they have that deep baritone growl, that snarl. And gonna have him do that for me. Probably make it a long bar saw if the timing allows, if it's possible for him. I know the McCullochs aren't always easy to raise compression on because of the cylinder arrangement. They're canted back towards the rear handle. That can be troublesome, I guess. I'm not an expert porter. I don't claim to be. I know basics. I've built performance engines before, primarily, automotive engines, few Banshees, dirt bikes here and there, some YZs, and I know how to use precision instruments and stuff, but I don't have the grinding tools. I don't have the experience. And let's face it, when you're paying for a woods pour or a port job or you're having a pipe built, you're not even paying for them to do it. You're paying for their knowledge. You're paying for their experience. You're paying for a guy who does, 10, 15, 20 saws a month. That's all he does is wrench on saws and hot rod saws. You're paying him for his knowledge, what he knows. For all you know, you could have a saw with great port timing, but it has poor compression, and he can drop the jug and flatten out the squish band and change the port timing a little bit to match what you had from the factory, and you'll have a great runner. But you don't know that, and I don't know that. Once again, I said I'm not a saw technician. I can fix stuff. I can fix all kinds of things, but just leave it to the pros, Wrenching is great if you have the knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge, seek someone who does. Right? Right. So, broke a spring mount, broke an anti-vibe mount on the 2071 Johnson Red the other day. Picked one up on the way home last evening. I'm going to toss that sucker in, and that saw got a few tanks through it yesterday before it broke, and it was really running good. So I think today I am going to strap a 28-inch cannon on it. I have a 28-inch cannon. I have a 28-inch Sugihara too, but that sucker needs to be dressed, and I might not have the time when the rest of the guys get here. I got to have time to do my vlog. Yeah. I got to knock back a chain a little bit, clean it up. That's that for the morning. I'm going to try to, like I said, get more videos for you guys and do my morning yak session where I yap my flap like I'm doing right now. And guys, stay safe out there. Drive safe. Don't drink and drive. Think about what you're doing. Think about everybody. Try to enjoy the weather if it's enjoyable. And just be safe out there, guys. The trees don't care who you are. They'll hurt you. Same with the saws. Wear PPE. Do it. Buy the chaps. Buy the helmet. Buy the gloves. Just do it. It's smart. You're saving yourselves. That's all for the morning. Have a good one, guys. Take care.